Over the last 2 days, we've had a very big problem on the farm. Well, it's not super huge because just a few birds have been affected, but it's a really terrible problem if it grows. What's happened, guys, is that in our dual purpose birds over here, the birds have started to peck themselves, actually to eat themselves. It's called vent pecking. Cannibalism. That's really terrible. So far we've lost 3 birds to cannibalism. One happened quite some time back, maybe 2 or so weeks ago, and then I thought, maybe it won't go on to develop. But then yesterday and then the day before yesterday, we lost 2 more birds to cannibalism. This is what actually happens. The birds peck the vent of one bird, and then once one pecks and blood starts coming out, the rest of the birds come and start pecking. So over the past 2 days, they pecked 2 birds and they literally pulled out their intestines alive. Can you imagine? Pulling out your intestines alive and eating you alive. And I was like, whoa, this is really, really terrible. And I know that lots of people are against debeaking of chickens, but guys, there's really not very many alternatives. There's not many options that you can do. For our local chickens, we don't do debeaking because they just never develop cannibalism. But for the dual purpose birds, probably because they have a super huge appetite. And guys, we have food for them. There is food for them. It's really a balanced diet. We give them some commercial feed, and we give them all the food scraps that you guys have seen, the tomatoes from the garden, the watermelons, cabbage leftovers, everything. They feed on the grass, they move around all this place. But for some reason, they still go on to peck themselves. So I'm going to be left with no option but to debeak them. And today I'm going to debeak them. First of all, take a look at our local chickens. Guys, I wish I was a chicken. These chickens really, really enjoy it. Yeah, you'll take a look at them. We have their food leftovers from yesterday. Some posho. Do you guys know what posho is? I don't know. It's like you get maize flour and make cake food. It's called posho. Ugali if you're Kenyan. And then rice, then cabbage, and then tomatoes. They're just enjoying themselves. Some watermelon, busy enjoying themselves and moving around the compound and having fun. So here I have our debeaker. I hope you guys can see it over here. So this is the debeaker that I just bought recently. It's what I'm going to be using to debeak. So it actually uses heat while debeaking. So we have 2 knobs right here. This knob controls the temperature of the blade. So here we have 2 blades, and one of the blades slides up and down. Right now it cannot be seen, but I'll probably record it in action and show. And then this one has the holes. You guys can see the holes. We have 3 sizes of holes. So you can, depending on the size of the chicken's beak, you put it in whichever holes. So then this blade will cut through, and then it will also burn to ensure that it creates a clotting layer. So this determines the temperature from lowest to highest, and this determines the speed of the moving blade, depending on how quickly you want to do the debeaking. So this is the machine that I'm going to be using. You just plug it into electricity, as you can see. So I know that it might be quite brutal, honestly. Imagine putting fire on your beak, and I know that the beaks of the chickens have nerve endings, so it's quite painful, but then it's nothing comparable to the pain of being eaten alive. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm left with no option. So here we are, guys, inside the chicken house. I've come to save the chickens from themselves, from cannibalism. Even right here, when I'm here, you can hear some irritating noises. That means that some of the chickens are actually trying to peck their friends, and that's not a good thing. They're not being good friends. So what we're going to do is that we've got some polythene over here. You guys, I don't know if you can see it here. We have got polythene over here. And so we're going to spread it out. We're going to have 4/5 of the house and then 1/5 of the house. So we're going to push all the birds from that corner into this corner, yeah, this area, just probably 1/5 of the house, so that we don't have a problem chasing them out. And then we have a small plug in here, so I'm going to plug in my heater, and then after that we're going to start debeaking the birds. Everyone that gets debeaked gets thrown to the other side. What we already did is that you guys can see inside these drinkers, we've already put multivitamins. And the purpose of the multivitamins is to reduce the stress for the birds. And these vitamins also have some iron, sometimes potassium, there's vitamin K, in order to decrease bleeding. Now, the thing that we're going to use to cut actually prevents the bleeding in that it actually burns the beak and it takes away the bleeder or what would cause the bleeding. But again, it's not a problem to give extra caution. So that's why we already put the vitamins in order to take away that stress. So guys, we've done the polythene, we've closed off one half. We're just left with this point, which is actually the entrance. So what we're going to do is that we're going to chase all these birds and get them to enter this area. And then after that, we shall close it off with that polythene, which you see hanging down. All right, guys, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Jango ine, what's in there? Okay, let's go. Shut, shut. Shut, shut. A few of them have remained on this other side, probably around 6 or 7. So we're just going to get them handily, one by one, and throw them over the fence. As you guys might see, this whole area is now empty, no birds. They are all over that polythene in the background, all of them. So let's just get these few that are just running down. My friend over here, he's called Ali, he's helping me, you know, just pick them up, and I'm also going to join him to pick them up. We get them over. So guys, we are all set. You can see the chickens in the background, all of them in one half. And then over here we have our machine. It's already set and plugged in into the plug. I'm going to turn it on. It's already plugged in. I'll turn it on here. Increase the temperature. Increase the temperature. Oh guys, so finally we are done. It's probably an hour or so later, and we are done with all the 500 birds. Finished debeaking them. I know it was quite brutal. So my colleagues are now removing the separating line, as you can see. And the birds are all on one side. The chicken house, guys, is super quiet. But the good thing is they're not pecking each other. That is the good thing. So they're not going to be eating each other. They are feeding. It's not like they are seated down and they are stressed. No, they are feeding. Some of them are resting. You can see some of them drinking the water. A few of them actually did bleed. But then it makes me really glad to know that we are done with the debeaking. So we shall let them rest. It's probably coming to around midday right now. Then later on, during the day, at around 3 or 4 p.m, we shall let them out so they continue feeding on the grass. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell. Catch you very soon with another video. Lots of love. Bye-bye.